From the lawsuit that nearly shut everything down, to the villain role that almost went to two action legends who refused to even stand in the same room, and the prophecy inside the film that unexpectedly came true in real life.
Accepted.
Lucky number 7.
Let's dive in and uncover the most surprising and downright weird facts about Demolition Man, starting with one that still shocks fans today. Number 1. Real riot footage used.
You are now entering the Hall of Violence, a visual representation of the primitive...
In the Hall of Violence scene, the burning buildings and street destruction you see in the background aren't movie effects. They're real. The production used actual footage from the 1992 Los Angeles riots, one of the most devastating events in modern US history. Instead of staging explosions, the movie borrowed real ones. That means when you're watching a Spartan walk through the museum, the flames behind him came from real neighborhoods on real streets during real chaos. It's one of the most quietly haunting details in the entire film, and it sets the tone for how unpredictable everything behind the scenes was. And speaking of unpredictability, the movie almost had a very different villain. Number 2, the villain that never was.
There's Simon Phoenix, one of our first and most illustrious members.
The studio wanted a martial arts showdown for the ages. Their dream matchup? Jean-Claude Van Damme versus Steven Seagal. But both said no. Stallone tried to save the idea by suggesting Jackie Chan to play Simon Phoenix. Chan loved the idea of working with Stallone, but didn't want to play a villain and disappoint fans. Only after all of these rejections did Wesley Snipes step in, bleach his hair, and walk into the role that became one of the most chaotic villains of the decade. And the chaos behind that decision didn't stop there, because the film's leading lady came from an even stranger emergency. But that's only the start. The next detail shows just how unpredictable the making of this movie really was. Number 3, the 2-day swap.
Thank you for rendering me unconscious.
Huxley, I did it for your own good.
Lori Petty was originally cast as Lenina Huxley. She lasted 2 days. The chemistry with Stallone just didn't work, and the studio cut her almost immediately. They suddenly had no leading actress, no rhythm, and a production schedule already burning money by the hour. Enter Sandra Bullock, who stepped in fast, brightened the movie's energy, and, without anyone knowing it, landed one of the roles that helped launch her future career. And once Bullock settled in, something else started causing problems on set: Wesley Snipes' fist. And if that surprised you, what comes next reveals an even stranger twist behind the scenes. Number 4, Snipes moved too fast. You would think an action movie wants fast punches. Not this fast. Snipes was so quick that the cameras couldn't capture his movements clearly. The footage came back blurry, like a glitchy blur of arms and legs. The director actually had to pull him aside and say, "Slow down, we can't film you." That's how Simon Phoenix got his strange, unpredictable fighting style. Fast enough to look dangerous, slow enough for the camera to see. While Snipes was slowing down, Stallone was speeding up his entire life. Things only get weirder from here, because the next fact shows the real grind behind this film. Number 5, Stallone's double film grind. In 1993, Stallone was basically working 2 full-time jobs. He was filming Demolition Man while also starring in Cliffhanger. 2 giant action movies, 2 demanding roles, interviews, training, stunts, travel. The man barely slept. But somehow he kept both films going. And when Demolition Man premiered, you were watching a man at the peak of an insane workload. Yet the biggest emotional story he filmed never made it into the movie. And just when it seems like the surprises are done, the next fact flips everything you'd expect. Number 6, Spartan's lost daughter. Originally, John Spartan's daughter survived the earthquake and was living somewhere in San Angeles. The movie included scenes of Spartan learning she was alive, searching for her, and realizing she had grown up in a world completely different from the one he knew. But in the editing room, everything was cut. No daughter, no closure, no emotional payoff. Fans spent years creating theories. Some believe she appeared in the underground world as an unnamed character Spartan actually meets without knowing who she is. One of the film's deepest storylines simply vanished because of pacing. And behind the script, there was another mystery building. Number 7, the plagiarism ghost case. Hungarian author István Nemeth claimed Demolition Man copied his novel Fight of the Dead, which involved a dystopian future, a controlled society, and a violent criminal thawed to stop another. But the case never reached court. The cost was too high, the case faded away, and nothing was ever proven. It's one of those Hollywood showdowns, too big to ignore, too vague to solve. And while the accusations floated around, the tone of the movie changed completely. Number 8. Satire turned spectacle. Early drafts were slow, thoughtful satire. Dark humor, heavy commentary, a world meant to feel quietly disturbing. Then producer Joel Silver walked in. If Joel Silver produces your movie, you're going to have explosions. A lot of them. The film turned from a quiet dystopia into a neon-clustered action satire hybrid. Joke or not, the explosions made it iconic. And speaking of iconic, the futuristic city wasn't what you think. Number 9. San Angeles wasn't San Angeles. San Angeles looked sleek, bright, and expensive. It wasn't. The city was actually filmed in Irvine, California, because the production couldn't afford San Diego or San Francisco. Irvine's clean architecture accidentally looked futuristic enough to sell the idea. The future on screen was built from budget shortcuts, but not everything was cheap. Some parts were shockingly real. Number 10. Future cars were real prototypes. Those futuristic cars? They weren't props. They were real GM prototypes, including the incredibly rare GM Ultralight. These cars cost a fortune and were so delicate that some crew members were terrified to touch them, but they added just enough realism to make the future feel believable. And speaking of realism, depending on where you lived, the future tasted very different. Number 11. Taco Bell versus Pizza Hut World Split.
I mean, sure I did, and my reward is dinner and dancing at Pizza Hut? I mean, hey, I like a big fat piece of pizza, but come on!
In the US, Taco Bell wins the franchise wars. But international audiences barely knew Taco Bell, so the studio changed every single sign in the movie to Pizza Hut. Logos, cups, restaurant doors, everything was reshot or digitally replaced. It's one movie with two completely different restaurant futures. The music also had a strange future of its own. Number 12. Sting's song came first. Sting released Demolition Man way back in 1981, more than a decade before the movie existed. When the film came out, he re-recorded it with a heavier, more futuristic sound, so the movie didn't inspire the song inspired the movie. And the strangest decisions didn't stop there. Number 13. Rambo the Destroyer. In Kuwait, the film wasn't marketed as Demolition Man. It was renamed Rambo the Destroyer because Stallone's fame was so much bigger than the movie title. Audiences thought they were walking into another Rambo movie. And finally, one of the weirdest ripple effects in pop culture. Number 14. Rodman copied Phoenix. Basketball legend Dennis Rodman saw Wesley Snipes with blonde hair and copied it. Rodman's neon hairstyles became part of 90s culture, and it all began with Simon Phoenix's loud, chaotic look. It's one of the strangest real-world side effects of a movie filled with strange ideas. And there you have it. 14 weird and amazing facts about Demolition Man, from real riot footage to vanished storylines to hairstyles that changed sports culture. If you enjoyed this dive into the strange world behind that movie, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Be well.